Tonight, rain delays and a search for a new athletic director. But first, we start on the baseball field. The game bumped up to Tuesday in a senior night for Logan Daniels, the lone senior on the baseball team. The moment and what Coach Daly said before the game started, and then what happened in the actual game against Neshoba. It went extra innings. It was a great game, and the final score doesn't necessarily show for it. Then, hard-hitting questions, your questions, the athletic director candidates all looking to get the job interviewed, and then took questions for the public. That happened on Wednesday night. It was all recorded. We'll bring you their statements, what they said, and what's next after they all received a tour of the campus. What can we expect as this new hunt for a brand new athletic director begins? On the softball field, it was Shepherd Hill coming up on top versus Neshoba on Tuesday. The game bumped up again due to the weather on Wednesday and Thursday. How did the Shepherd Hill Rams fare as we get closer to the playoffs? In girls lacrosse, it was another win for the team, getting some late season pushes, beating St. Bernard's in a high scoring game. They put up 20 goals, so we'll bring you all of that coming up. In the national sports tonight, the Bruins are living on a prayer with only one game they can afford to lose. They're done. One more, they're out. So they play tonight, Friday night, against the Panthers at home. Could they force a Game 7? And the Celtics are on to the Eastern Conference Finals.
From Shepherd Hill Regional High School, this is Shepherd Hill Sports Zone with Cameron Simpson.
Hello everyone, good evening. Thanks for being with us on this Friday. We have so much to talk about, including the search for new athletic director, as 3 candidates took to the stage to answer questions from the public. We'll bring you all of those responses, what they had to say, and what to make of it. We start tonight, though, on the baseball field. In senior night for the Rams, Logan Daniels, the lone senior for Shepherd Hill Baseball, was honored on Wednesday night before the Rams took on Neshoba. Tuesday night before the Rams took on Neshoba. The game bumped up from Wednesday. Before the game, the ceremony, his family taking to the field, receiving honorary gifts from the team, including a signed ball from all the players on that baseball team. Shepherd Hill Baseball is officially now qualified for the state tournament, and this was their final home game of the year. Before the game, Coach Daly took a few moments to speak about Logan and the impact he's had on the program. Take a listen.
Sorry to the other two, but Logan and I started together, and the coaching staff as well. As much as we've grown as a program and have gotten better, he is as responsible as us in many ways. Number one, he's a fantastic player, fantastic catcher, fantastic pitcher, has developed into a really good first baseman. He is a leader on and off. He works with the catchers, he works with other guys. And he wants this just as much as the coaching staff does. So I'm so glad that in his final year that he's able to enjoy some winning and some success. He deserves it. I can imagine how hard it's going to be watching the last year. And I see his brother there. So you're too good of a player to give it up, and I'm glad he's continuing. He's even getting better and better every time he takes the field. So I want to thank you, Logan, for 3 solid, incredible years, and you work your heart off, and you work incredibly hard. And I also want to make sure that we finish strong. So stay on these guys, please.
Then to the game itself. It was a very intense game, tied for most of it, as the Rams would go down 1 run in the first. They would stay scoreless all the way to the 4th inning when they put up 2 more. In the 5th, it was 0-0, 6th, 0-0. We had to go to the 7th. Top of the 7th, Neshoba puts up a run to tie the game. It was 2-2 heading into the 8th inning when all things went wrong for the Rams. Neshoba would put up 4 unanswered runs in extra innings. The Rams would lose 6-2, but it was Caden Green, Jake Ramsey, and Alex Croto who each had 2 hits for the Rams. The Rams are now 10-5, 8-4 in the mid-watch division. As I said, they get set for playoffs. They have a road game today that we'll recap for you on Monday, but then it's a week and a little side tournament, and then we get into the playoffs, and potential for a home game is real for the Rams. We will keep you posted on that. Let's go inside the more professional side of the athletics department now. As we all know, a few weeks ago, Mr. Scanlon announced that he will be leaving Shepherd Hill for another opportunity, which means that spot of athletic director has been vacant and will need to be filled before next year. Well, there are 3 candidates who are now asking to be selected as that athletic director. As a part of the hiring process for the school, they take questions from the public. That was done on Wednesday night. All 3 candidates took questions delivered from Mr. Elwell, some of them coming from parents and students across the school district. Again, this is all part of the scheduled hiring process. All 3 candidates came off of an interview on Tuesday where they get to walk the grounds. We took some of the highlights of their responses and wanted to show you. Take a look.
I have been the athletic director at 2 different districts. I do thoroughly enjoy my job. Youth is our foundation, so making sure that we involve them. In those youth teams, they get to wear their uniform, they sit behind our benches. Our coaches talk to them during the game and really involve them in the process and really build that spirit of wanting to come up to the high school and join us. Increasing that youth involvement, getting the community out there, really selling our programs and bringing people to see it. Not only has it helped us budgetary wise so we can purchase, but it also is a great way to bring people and get them involved. That is our athletics are your front porch. So when they come and we bring that community in, we want them to feel like they are welcome. We want them to feel like they can be excited about it and have pride in their community. Again, what are the improvements that need to be done? Bring that into the budget and then bring that into our administration. I'm going to look at the unified athletics first. It is a great experience for everyone. I think that would be a great start. We currently, I know, have the basketball. We talked about that the other day in our meeting, and I would love to see that continued and maybe open up into the unified track and field. Making sure that we are offering the sports that are of interest. Is there other areas? Do we need to do some kind of maybe survey or interest with our student population? Maybe I kind of hinted to it before. I think it's a great next professional step for me. This is a wonderful district, Charlton and Dudley, with 19 middle school programs, 34 high school programs, if I'm not mistaken, about 400 student athletes registered. And this destination, it's a beautiful area.
And Jeff Lane, I am currently the assistant principal at Shrewsbury High School, been that for 3 years. Prior to that, I was the director of PE, Health, and Family Consumer Science at Shrewsbury, and but I spent time in Worcester, 22 years in Worcester as a teacher, and that included 5 years as assistant athletic director in the city of Worcester. So I'm very, very well versed in when operating 7 high schools and scheduling buses and officials and games, working with coaches and hiring coaches and dealing with issues. So really important. Youth leagues are important. I think our middle school programs are important. Take care of what we have, right? Doing an inventory, constantly checking in on things, making sure that we are up to date on, any kind of inspections that we're doing on things that we have and we provide, but also making sure that we're getting the longevity out of the equipment that we have and the capital gains that we have. But I think what people like to see is they want to see the transparency and the long range goals that you have. So when I was in Worcester as part of the assistant athletic director in the city of Worcester, I certainly was down at meetings. We were at selection meetings. We were meeting with the MIAA. We're going through conferences down there. Shepherd Hill has such a mystique and aura to it. I've talked about it a couple of times to different people that, we always look at it as Hill Week when we're at Shrewsbury High School preparing for Shepherd Hill. I see it as a real welcoming place. It's funny. I went on a tour yesterday. I didn't think it was as bad as what I thought it was going to be. I really didn't. Doesn't mean we don't need a new school at some point, right? But the facilities really aren't that bad. And I guess it's something that I'm kind of used to. It excites me to run a program. It excites me to get involved with coaches and student athletes. Again, it goes back to my opening of why I'd look for a position like this. It's because that's who I am. I'm in athletics I want to be in athletics for a reason. And I've certainly made strides in my resume. I'm very, very proud of every opportunity I've had. I've said every time I've gotten a job that it's been the opportunity of my life.
Currently, I'm a full-time gym teacher and wellness teacher, and also athletic director at Norfolk County Agricultural High School in Walpole. Also have worked in professional sports, running my own player agent business, and as well as working for another firm prior to that. So community is everything for me. I'm someone from a small town myself, where I live, and now I'm back living as well, and being at a small school currently. Community is everything. Being the leader of the athletic department, it's going to be my focus to bring values that I've learned along the way from my worldwide network of people. Input to me that community is everything, treating people with equal respect, investing your time in the community, because that's the future of this school and this town. That this district has a wealth of opportunities. I created a safety checklist that I go over every season that I developed with my coaches and with my staff to then ensure safety for the kids, because that is the first priority for all of us, to have safe community and safe fields. Bringing up Unified, I have a great network of people that have ran very successful Unified programs within the tri-state area that we're in. So the way I would develop that for Unified is to first work with our guidance department, our administration, and also our special education staff throughout the entire district, and find out what they believe would be a great fit for our school, because what's a good fit here may not be a good fit at another school, and etc. When developing a budget strategy, it's a team effort. Saving money and being smart about how we're spending is a collaborative effort that's extremely important and something I take pride in. So I believe that this place has a lot of opportunities, not just this school, the entire district. Both towns are very special. I feel any school district that's this invested in not just athletics, but in the whole picture, is somewhere I'd love to be a part of and continue the roots that we've built here and bring them to a whole other level.
So obviously the next steps will be a deep evaluation into each three of them by the current administration here at Shepherd Hill and the school committee. They'll look into it, and there is a separate committee on the hiring of the new athletic director. We should know about this come summertime, come the end of the year as well, but we'll follow it for you right here in Shepherd Hill Sports Zone as the whole process works its way up, and you can make out who you think's the best one. And there was an email sent out to parents about how to give feedback on what they thought of that public intro. All right, let's go to girls softball now, and a big win again. They just keep on winning. The team now 13-3, and they face off against the 14-3 Wolves. It was Mackenzie Millette fired a 2-hitter as the Rams just continued to go over. Grace Guerin scored 2 hits, an RBI and a run. Olivia Jankowski had a hit and 2 RBIs. That was, I believe that is for Anshoba. Now the game started, Shepherd Hill run, then a run in the 4th for Shepherd Hill, then they lose one in the 5th, 2 runs in the 6th, and that's it. The rest is history. 4-1 final. They are rolling right now. Quickly note on girls lacrosse, it was a 20-15 win against St. Bernard's. Carly Moody and Maya Filling netted 6 goals each, the double hat trick, while Ashley Dickow added 4. That propelled the Rams, who are now 7-8, 1 game away from being 500 in this season. Now the other guys from the other team scored so many goals as well. What a incredibly high scoring game. That all happened on Tuesday. A big day at the Hill Tuesday, let me tell you. 2015 win. A big win. All right, to the TD Garden, and get to the edge of your seat, because this is it. It's all on the line for the Bruins for the second night in a row. After having their backs up against the wall for Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Series, they're now back in the same position. They were able to win, get the series back to 3-2. Now tonight in the Garden, they're hoping to prevail for a 3-3 4-seed Game 7 back in Florida. Now, no word on Brad Marchand at the time of recording whether or not he will be able to play. All signs point to a potential return of Marchand in the lineup tonight, but as of this time that we're on video recording, we can't just say whether or not the game will face off at 7 o'clock over on TNT. That's where you can find the game. In the NBA, the Celtics officially are on their way to the Eastern Conference Finals after they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in their series. So, what's next for the Celts? Well, it's either the New York Knicks, which most people are pointing to. It's going to be the New York Knicks as they look to get rid of their series in these next few days. The Celtics, the Knicks, what an incredible matchup that could be between both fan bases, very invested fan bases. And just to let you know, I don't want to look too far ahead, but if the Bruins can somehow pull off this series versus Florida, it most likely will be the Rangers and the Bruins and the Knicks and the Celtics. What an incredible time that would be. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, because neither of the Eastern Conference Stanley Cup playoff matches right now are set in stone. We'll know much more by Monday's episode, so make sure to check back in on Monday. We'll give you the update right here on Shepherd Hill Sports Zone. Until Monday, enjoy your weekend and have a great night. Good night.
Thanks for watching Shepherd Hill Sports Zone, the only place for Rams sports news.